This is question number 12 on homework 5 for chapter 5. This is a real-time data analysis exercise. Go to the St. Louis Federal Reserve database and find data on net worth of households and nonprofits and the 10-year U.S. Treasury bond. So this is actually a Treasury bond yield. For the net worth indicator, adjust the units setting to percent change from a year ago, and for the 10-year bond, adjust the frequency setting to quarterly. Click the following link to view the net worth of households and the nonprofits data from FRED. So this is directly the first variable, households and nonprofit organizations. And it asks us to change the units to be from percent change from a year ago. And then we can just look at the question: what is the percent change in net worth over the most recent year of available data? So the most recent looks like it's 2017 Q4 net worth. So since we have changed the units to be the percent change from a year ago, so we can just directly put our mouse to the last available data point, and looking at this data point, it shows Q4 2017. The number here is 7.82048. So this means that relative to a year ago, this variable, households and nonprofit organization net worth, increased by 7.82048%. So we can just put that into the blank 7. It asks us to round your response to one decimal place, so we can just put 7.8. 7.8, yes, round it down. So check our answer. Nice work. Let's continue. All else equal, what would you expect should happen to the price and yield on the 10-year Treasury bond? So this basically examines our knowledge for the model that we learned in this chapter about the determinant of the price of bond and hence the yield of bond. So we learned the asset market model, in which there are a number of factors which determine the demand of the bond. So one of the factors is the worth. So that's basically the variable here, the net worth. So if the worth goes up based on our observation here, then that should shift the demand curve, the downward sloping demand curve to the right. So if the demand curve shift to the right, it's like this, shift to the right, and then the price should, this is the vertical axis, here is the price. The price, equilibrium price, should go up, and if the price goes up, yield should go down. So that's based on the model's prediction. There should be a increase in the price of bonds and a decline in the yield on bonds. So let's see whether that's the case based on the data. What is the change in yield on the 10-year Treasury over the last year of available data? So the 10-year Treasury bond, the symbol here is GS10. So let's add that to our chart here. So we can edit graph, and we can add additional line and search for GS10. And then this we can make the change according to the setup, modify the frequency to be quarterly. But here we don't need the percent change from a year ago, we just need the level. Since this is the yield, so the level should be in percent. So that's basically what this should look like. And you can see that the red curve here stands for the 10-year Treasury constant maturity rate, and it extends to the most recent data point, which is actually Q2 2020. But to be consistent with our observation for the other variable net worth, we need to look at Q4 2017. And let's look at what the question is. Over the same time period, the yield on the 10-year Treasury. So this basically, to answer this question, we can just look at Q4 2016, which is 2.13, right? That number is the 10-year Treasury bond constant yield is at Q4 2016 is 2.13, and it went up. You can see that went up to 2.37 in Q4 2017. So this basically increased from 2.13 to 2.37. Obviously, this is not consistent with this, right? This observation, but that does not suggest this is not consistent with the model, because if you check the model, you can see that there are a number of variables which determine the demand, and also a number of variables which determine the supply. But if we only look at the wealth, that may omit many other variables which at the same time whose changes might push the yield up rather than down as predicted by our model based on wealth change. So even though this fact by itself is not consistent with the model, that doesn't refute the correctness of the model itself. It may simply suggest that there are many other variables which are omitted, which could also determine the yield. So let's check our answer here. Good job. And last part of this question, is this consistent with what you would expect should happen to the price and the yield on the 10-year Treasury bond? And as we said, this is not consistent, right? So we're done.